This is a demonstration for my creative project for creative machine learning. So I decided to create a glove, a data glove, using the circuit playground, serial connection, and sort of this conductive material that I put on my knuckles. And what's going to happen here is these pins on the side here are going to kind of read in the values coming from the power into the conductive material and out through the data pin, kind of like a resistor. It's not a fancy circuit, it's quite a basic one. But what you can see in front of you now is the sort of interface that I've built for this GUI, and it's sort of strongly influenced by the live recording or Granular synthesis created by JoshuaBatty on GitHub. So I've updated that a little bit so that it works with 0.9.4 of open frameworks, and also updated the GUIs because I fancied to. And yeah, so let me just take you through what this all is at the moment. So on the left here, you've got the glove parameters. I've created two kind of settings. One's a calibrate, and that takes in the feed of the glove input. It takes the min and max of that and then maps it to 0 to 10, just to make it easier for me to understand the sort of glove values. And also the accelerometers kind of all get picked up as well on that. The thing is that it's kind of, you saw that go to 0 there, it's glitching at the moment, so it's not very good. So I've kind of eyeballed it with this preset value, and that gives me just an accurate reading, good enough for this demonstration. On the right here, I've got the granular synthesis parameters, and basically I'm not going to go through what granular synthesis is, as there's lots of other videos that cover that, and the video itself for this, where I've taken this code from, kind of covers a lot of it. But I'm effectively going to be creating some gestures here that are going to influence some of these buttons and some of these sliders here. One of its classification, and this part here is regression. The regression directly affects the sliders, and the classification interacts with the buttons, recording, and the playhead here. You can affect, you can make it move left and right with the accelerometer. I didn't mention also this glove is using basically accelerometer and these 4 fingers. Cool. So I'm going to show you how we're going to record the examples for the machine learning models. And I created a static hand sort of gesture just to try and help the misclassification stuff, just so it has somewhere to go rather than the predefined ones here. It just goes to a blank kind of state. Okay, so I'm going to train that, I'm going to press that and hold, and as you can see now, we're going to have a lot of examples recorded in. Actually, I'm going to clear that first because this is going quite high at the moment, so let me just play around with those. Cool, it's a bit less. Cool, I'm going to record those as static gestures. Quite a few of them. And then we're going to record the voice, so this live input is happening right now, you can see underneath. So I'm going to, the gesture for that is just 1 finger bending, and I'm going to do 2, 3, and that's enough for now. So, so this one's a record that. And as you can see here, the value is 10, that's what I'm aiming for, that these values are 10. At least the other parameters are not so bad, doesn't matter really where they are. Okay, so the set playhead one, and it's 10 at the moment. I'm going to call quite a few of them because there was a few issues there. Cool. And then the manipulate synth, make sure that's 10 first. Manipulate synth. So really I'm using these as buttons just because the glove was glitching quite a bit, and it was quite difficult to use the conductive material. It was quite noisy, and I had to do quite a heavy signal processing on it, and RMS as well as low pass filters. Cool, so that's everything we're going to need now. I'm going to train that, I'm going to run that. Okay, I'm going to turn this down for a moment. So yeah, as you can see here, there's nothing being recorded now. I'll go to 1, 2, which then can move the playhead, and 3, which we're going to define now with a regression. Cool. So first I'm just going to keep it as 0. To make sure, it's not too much of an issue. Cool. It stays there. Okay, so what we're going to do with the granular synthesis is basically record the accelerometer only. I didn't mention before, but the gestures are only taking the finger values, and the granular synthesis is going to take the accelerometer. So I'm going to hold it in one position. We're going to listen to the sound a bit. Say I like that sound there, we're going to record that one in. Okay. Then we're going to change the sound a bit, record the motion in the other way. That sounds cool. Record those. Do one more sound. Okay, so I'm going to record that. It's going to be quite a deep sound. Cool. And then we train that, run that, and now when I press gesture 3, I can interact with this synthesizer. You can see all these parameters moving through regression. And so we're taking 3 inputs and mapping them to 4 outputs. So let me just do some recording now. La 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 la, doing some recording, pretending this is a performance. La 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 la. Hey, hey, gonna do something? Do. Just to show you the playhead moving. There's no regression here, just the x-axis, which is scanning through. So you can see quite performance-y kind of gestures here, it's quite interesting. Hey, gonna do something. Cool, and that's all there. So the gestures are kind of classifying very nicely, it's quite smooth. And yeah, that's everything there. So thanks for listening, see you around.